To understand tonight, we are not only talking about boxing, but about history. For more than 4 decades, the city of Omaha, Nebraska, had not hosted a world title fight. The return of championship boxing was thanks to a single man, Terrence "Bud" Crawford. We invite you to grab your favorite snack, sit comfortably, and enjoy this incredible fight that will be recorded among the greatest in history. Let's begin. The context of the fight and the figures. Terrence "Bud" Crawford, 23-0, 16 KOs. At 26 years old, Crawford was a polished diamond. He had just captured his first world title, WBO lightweight, by defeating Ricky Burns in Scotland. The home defense was seen by his promoter, Bob Arum, as the official launch of an American superstar. Key training statistic: Crawford's team, led by Brian McIntyre, focused on sparring with southpaws and fast fighters, knowing that Gamboa's transition from lighter divisions meant overwhelming speed. They also worked on speed and agility, knowing that his rival was very fast and needed to be quick, not only to land punches, but also to evade. Yuriorkis Gamboa, 23-0, 16 KOs. On the other hand, the Cuban was pure amateur royalty, Olympic gold medalist in 2004 and former world champion at featherweight and super featherweight. His hand speed was considered elite, and his experience of 400+ amateur fights gave him an unmatched tactical foundation. He commented that he had not had special training for Crawford, but he did try to push his limits and improve in every aspect. The disadvantage factor and the odds. Despite his record, Gamboa was the underdog by a considerable margin. The physical and contextual disadvantages were enormous. Reach disadvantage. Crawford was 10 centimeters taller and had a reach advantage of 12 centimeters, 4.5 inches, a critical factor for a technical boxer. Inactivity and weight. Gamboa came from almost a year of inactivity. In addition, it was only his second fight in the lightweight division, which raised doubts about whether he would maintain his power against a bigger man. The promotion narrative. The story was the hero of Omaha versus the Cuban exile. The psychological pressure was 100% on Gamboa. The challenger's mentality. Gamboa, with his pride wounded and needing to regain his status, did not ask for special conditions. His statement was simple: he is a big, fast, and strong boxer, but I came to fight. I did not come to be a statistic. Tonight, Gamboa would not fight for money, he would fight for his legacy. The initial storm, Gamboa, sets the pace. The fight begins with an intensity that no one, except perhaps Gamboa, had anticipated. The crowd cheered Crawford's name, but soon another name would also resonate. Rounds 1-4. Pure speed and confusion. Gamboa's tactic. The Cuban gave Crawford no space to use his reach. He darted in and out in explosive bursts, unloading 3 to 4 punch combinations and pivoting before Bud could mount a defense. Gamboa was giving us a demonstration of incredible speed and was using it to break Crawford's strong defense, something that few boxers have managed in the opening seconds of a fight. Crawford's problem: the champion, a master of adaptation, was forced to react, not dictate. Gamboa was winning the speed exchanges. CompuBox statistics at the start of the fight reflected this. Gamboa was outlanding Crawford in power punches in the early rounds. Crawford surely intended to dominate the center of the ring as usual, since his height and reach allowed it. But the Cuban, with his speed and incredible combos, managed to destabilize him. The switch of stance. Desperate, Crawford switched his guard, adopting the southpaw stance. Although Crawford is excellent in both, Gamboa, with his Olympic instinct, detected an opportunity and responded with straight rights that landed clean, sending a clear message. His speed dismantled even Crawford's best Plan B. The champion is in real trouble. When Plan A and Plan B are failing, it's time to worry. Scorecards at the end of the 4th. The concern was real. Crawford was losing points and looked frustrated, something rare in his career. The crowd was on edge, as it had been a long time since the champion was in such a complicated situation, and worse, against a challenger who seemed to have no chance of beating him.
It's Terrence Crawford to the right of your screen. He's the champion of the WBO.
But didn't hurt Gamboa.
Gamboa landed some flush shots.
And here we go in round number 2. see if anything changes. There's the jab immediately.
Quicker than him, or as quick, you know, suddenly the pick. There's an example, Colonel, of what I was talking about earlier, that when
Gamboa to the left of your screen, that's Terrence to the right. He doesn't give any ground. But
a lot of the questions early was how
Gamboa seems very strong.
He's looking okay out there, but that was a big question that a lot of fight fans had coming into this match was if
it's early to note, you know, but veteran fighter found the formula to deal with the upright, maybe not so much.
Looks like he's going to put the pedal to the pedal in this round.
I think he came out of the
all night like this. Gamboa is trying to take both of these guys 23-0. Both at
in and out, uses quickness.
CenturyLink Center, Omaha, Nebraska. So even after 2, we get 10 more. Now going for 126. Watch it. Height difference that Crawford has, but Gamboa has been fighting taller guys almost his whole career. Right here, right there. And Gino Rodriguez will admonish him for that. And he's a lightweight champion with a lot of skills.
And a big lightweight.
I gave it to Gamboa.
So did I.
His team speaking somewhat candidly, but it was a little tough for him making 135 this time around, Colonel.
Bob Arum talked about him wanting to go, or at least the promoter wanting him to go to 1. And a little rough on the inside there. And Gino says no.
The tactical adjustment and the transformation of the champion. The drama of this fight lies in the adjustment. From the 5th round onward, we would witness the metamorphosis of Terrence Crawford. That is why he is the champion, for his speed in adapting against any boxer. Round 5. The first crack in the armor, McIntyre's order. In Crawford's corner, head coach Brian McIntyre demanded that he stop boxing and focus on catching him in the air, anticipating Gamboa's entry pattern. The defining counterpunch. Midway through the round, Gamboa entered with his usual burst. Crawford, waiting for the entry, launched a short, precise left hook that crashed into Gamboa. The punch felt like slow motion, perfectly executed, and it hurt him. Gamboa fell heavily. The arena exploded. Crawford had deciphered the timing of the cyclone. Gamboa showed incredible heart, rising on shaky legs. Crawford rushed to finish him, but the Cuban clung to survival, clinching and moving until the bell rang. The crowd was ecstatic because after losing most of the early rounds, Crawford had turned the fight around and now had the advantage.
Shots at the end of that round, so let's see how he can approach.
Identical knockout percentage.
And he was out of position. And the rest of this round, he's fighting on instinct. It's Gamboa now. And he's nailed with that. The bell ends round 4.
Gamboa saved by the bell.
Is that sneaky shot that Gamboa get in at the... Listen to the crowd.
No smile.
Protect yourselves at all time. There were times, slides to his right, nail with another right hand. He's ready to go again. But we're out of time in the 5th round. I'm giving it to him on my score sheet. I've got Gamboa winning 3 of the first 4 rounds.
He's hurt, as you say.
He is hurt. Trying to hang on. Terrence important. 39-37 after 4.
Got a little too reckless.
But you said he was going to have to at some stage.
Oh, he hurt him with the right hand.
Yeah, he staggered with the left hand. Fighting as a right-handed fighter, but he's going to fight as a southpaw again.
Keeping that distance.
Now he's trying to figure this guy out. As far as confusing Gamboa, it's not confusing him in the slightest.
I don't think he's trying to confuse Gamboa. I think
the power with his left, but he's not landing many lefts.
Style. He just saw that Gamboa had an advantage over him. It solved him, and then he just...
Gamboa doesn't like it. He's lost the last 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, well,
so, you know, but that's, you may be right. That's what he's thinking for a couple of rounds now.
Good little right hand hook by Crawford.
And he may not have, but I mean, that's the way I see it anyway.
Well, I have it 2-1 and 1 even. I know
Round 6-7, body punishment and reaffirmation. With his confidence restored, Crawford found his rhythm. Champion's tactic, Crawford returned to his orthodox stance and used his reach, punishing Gamboa with power shots to the body, especially the straight right to the liver. This was crucial to slow down the Cuban and take away the explosiveness that defined him. CompuBox. The statistics began to tilt dramatically in Crawford's favor in terms of effective power punches. Gamboa, although still throwing, lost his accuracy, making his punches wider and easier to evade.
You're trying to nail this guy.
Yeah, he's showing us what he's made of.
Yeah.
Whether he can weather this kid or not, showing us that he's got some...
He got cracked by a good...
You don't get such a long period of time with not having a lot of fortitude.
Well, he's got that. His legs still aren't there, and we're almost 2 minutes into this 6th round.
Say that, Colonel. Still looking a little shaky as he kind of walks forward with heavy feet.
He's not just looking, and I don't think Terrence realizes that he's still in trouble. Now he gets up on his toes a little bit and bounces his left knee buckled underneath him. Talking about Gamboa. Gamboa gets there with another. Five seconds to go in the round. Crawford boxing nicely as a southpaw now. Closing seconds now. This is the 6th round. The 6th, another round for Terrence Crawford. Trying to get Crawford back ahead in the fight.
Because of that 2-point round.
That's right. Mom is at the fight, and look at her during the last round, Deborah Crawford.
A moment for the Crawfords that will be indelible.
In the 5th round, as we move to the second half of the fight, with Crawford out in front in the fight now.
Crawford pointing out to the ref that it's slippery. There are a few pieces of ice still on the mat there, but ref says fight on.
Crawford continues fighting as an orthodox fighter, and he's been fighting southpaw ever since. As Gamboa just slipped him.
That the advertisements on the mat.
For some reason, the Cuban corner people love to pour water down a guy's shorts, so he's dripping water all over the place.
Gamboa's shorts drenched. right now they're thoroughly
to revive him, correct.
as they should.
Ineffective. Gamboa continues to slip, step on each other's front feet. Gamboa's doing a lot of slipping. His trunks are a bathing suit right now. They're dripping that much, folks. And he's distracted by it because he keeps looking down. Whatever they've done in the corner, he's revived. And as I say that, he gets whacked.
Been looking down, and when he looked down, Crawford popped him.
Canvas, because he moves a lot. He bounces around, he slides left to right. He fights up on his toes all the time.
Not as serious and as alive.
That's crazy. Crawford won that round, by the way.
Round 8. Gamboa resists the abyss. Crawford, now dictating the pace, caught Gamboa once again with a precise right counter as the Cuban tried to enter. Second knockdown. Gamboa fell again. Despite being visibly damaged and with a swollen face, he rose, driven by his Olympic pride. Crawford dominated the end of the round with a flurry of punches, but Gamboa, showing otherworldly resilience, managed to survive. We entered the 9th round. The Omaha crowd awaited the coronation. The score was clear. Crawford was ahead thanks to the knockdowns, but Gamboa refused to die. The frozen punch. Less than a minute into the round, Crawford landed a successful combination, but made a rookie mistake. He dropped his guard. Gamboa, operating purely on survival instinct, launched a devastating straight right, followed by a left uppercut. Crawford is shaken. His legs fail. This is the defining moment of the night. The hometown hero, one punch away from being knocked out in his first home defense. Crawford showed the heart that would take him to the top. Instead of panicking, he used his experience to clinch and move, recovering miraculously under the bombardment of a Gamboa who had emptied his energy tank in that attack.
Very least.
Oh, here's Gamboa in the process of landing some shots. Stopped him, hit him with the right hand and the left hand, and the knee went down.
As soon as Gamboa got offensive, Crawford dropped him again.
But you said that he'd take risks. So Gamboa has been down twice in the fight now. But that changes the whole, because Gamboa is still on his feet. There's not a lot of time left in this 8th round.
Crawford showing his chin at 2.
Look at this knockdown. Now you see who's on the assault. Not really landing many blows, and then bang! But just got himself in position to make that call because he was kind of behind. That was able to call that immediately when that foot hit the canvas. Getting pummeled at the end of the 8th round. He was able to recover after he went down in the 5th, but here we go to the 9th.
Has to know now that he's got to make something happen.
Well, he's got to throw all caution. As you say, taking a lot of risks now. In the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. Actually, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Right hand landed, and now...
The response of the future pound-for-pound Gamboa, exhausted through desperate and wide punches. Crawford, with absolute coldness, capitalized on his rival's first mistake. Gamboa opened up, and Crawford responded with a lethal combination. 3rd knockdown. A left hook stunned the Cuban. Gamboa rose for the 3rd time, but the end was inevitable. Crawford pounced, launched a terrible right uppercut, and Gamboa collapsed heavily. 4th knockdown and the end. The referee stopped the fight immediately. Official result, technical KO for Terrence Crawford in the 9th round. The legacy of the war. What began as a coronation event turned into a trial by fire. Crawford not only won, he proved that he could adapt, take punishment, and rise from the depths to knock out an elite opponent. For Crawford, this fight, with its 3 knockdowns and its moment of terror, forged him. It was the turning point that would lead him to dominate multiple divisions and become the undisputed pound-for-pound champion. The lesson from Gamboa undoubtedly remained: never underestimate the speed and heart of an